The last 24 hours in Fortnite, you guys, has been absolutely wild. Fortnite basically let like half the internet play Chapter 7 early yesterday, and because of that, we've got a ton of brand new leaks, new POIs, new mechanics, and more confirmations about the season theme for Chapter 7 Season 1. We need to talk about this whole creator event in Los Angeles because it explains basically every leak we're seeing right now, and also remember, none of the creators that were allowed at this event were supposed to upload any high-quality gameplay. That's actually being saved for after the event in 9 days. So everything we're going to see in this video is like blurry phone recordings, screenshots. So take that into account before judging anything too harshly. But a little warning before we get straight into the video is that there is going to be some spoilers here. Some of this stuff has been officially posted by Fortnite, but like I said, some of it is blurry stuff that really, I don't know if necessarily was supposed to be posted from this event. But in this video, we're going to go over everything that we know for sure. Also, everything that was leaked from the hands-on gameplay, the POIs that Fortnite themselves actually released on Twitter, what this means for the theme, and of course, my thoughts at the end. And guys, I am still incredibly hyped for Chapter 7 Season 1. I was excited before, but after everything that we're seeing, and as you'll see later on in the video, my expectations as well as my hype are through the roof right now. So yesterday, we finally got to see the big LA creator event that everybody was talking about. All of these creators were flying out to Los Angeles. They were talking about some really big like Fortnite work thing they were doing, and Epic finally hosted this private career event. It was actually at Quentin Tarantino's like Vista Theater. If you guys don't know who Quentin Tarantino is, he's basically a world-renowned movie director, very famous, very popular, made some of the best movies ever. It's an actual Hollywood venue for Chapter 7, and there's a reason that he was there and why he was involved, which we will talk about later. Over 100 creators were invited to this, and not even just necessarily Fortnite creators. Like Drewski was there, people like that, just everybody was there. It seemed like, I think Lil Tecca even performed at some point in there, so it was just like anybody they could find. But Tarantino himself as well as Uma Thurman were at the event, and if you guys don't know, that basically confirms that we're getting a Kill Bill collaboration, which is a movie. Uma Thurman is the actor who plays the bride, which is basically the main character in Kill Bill, and Tarantino is the director and kind of founder of that idea, I guess, and the movie as well. They posed for pictures together. Epic was not hiding this at all. Basically full on confirmed a Kill Bill collaborations. Now, creators got to see something, and they were all in this like venue area where they were looking at a screen, but we don't know exactly what they were able to see. There was no public trailer, no cinematic reveal, nothing released online too crazy yet. Whatever they watched is still kind of private. Maybe they saw a trailer or something like that, or just like a slideshow presentation of what Chapter 7 is going to be, who knows. But the only thing we do know for sure is that they got to actually play Chapter 7 early and basically see all of it before anybody else. And that is exactly how all of these leaks that we're going to talk about started popping up. And honestly, with that many people in one area playing a new chapter early, phone cameras out, you know, they didn't take away anybody's phones or anything like that. Excitement is high. Stuff was absolutely going to leak. It was inevitable. And maybe Fortnite even said, you know, if you guys post a picture, just make it kind of blurry or something. But Epic knows this too. You know, they allowed gameplay recording on site, but creators cannot actually upload high quality footage until after the 0-hour event on the 29th. So during downtime is probably when we'll see some official gameplay. But as you guys can see here, this is one of the first recordings that we actually saw, and a lot of people were a bit concerned about this because it looks very, very similar to Chapter 6, and some people are actually wondering if we're going to be going to a new map at all. But as you can see, he's kind of walking around, definitely looks like, you know, the West Coast sort of vibes. You know, there's a lot of sand everywhere. The trees match the vibe. There's a hot air balloon in the background. The buses look a little bit different, or the reboot vans, I mean, look a little bit different. The graphics look relatively simple, but as you can see here, we have the bride skin. Now, this is probably going to be the first skin in the battle pass for the Kill Bill collaboration. He's just kind of walking around, giving us a good vibe. Of course, it is a little blurry, so we can't judge, you know, too much based on this. I do think this is a different map, but it looks very similar, probably just because the graphics and things like that are relatively the same. This is probably the best video out of all of them that we have. Looks like there's a lot of different mechanics, and we'll go into the weeds in this a little bit later here. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about what is officially confirmed about Chapter 7 Season 1, because there is real info here outside of all the stuff that's, you know, just speculative. Chapter 7 Season 1 is officially called Pacific Break. Don't know exactly why it's called that. Maybe because, you know, something is going to break, or, you know, there's like, you know, a shred or something like that. I don't know why that's the exact name. The full theme of the season is based around, you know, California, West Coast, Las Vegas, Area 51. Like I said, basically a West Coast kind of vacation, but still with the Fortnite vibe, I guess, if that makes any sense. I don't know if there'll be a war going on. I don't know how the 7 is going to come into this, and a lot of people have said they're a little worried because based on these leaks, there hasn't been much said about the 7 overall. Something else that we also saw was a DeLorean was actually on display over at the event in LA, which confirmed a Back to the Future collab in Fortnite. We will actually see the Marty McFly skin inside of Fortnite and another one of those blurry screenshots later on in the video. Of course, Kill Bill is also confirmed. The Bride and Gogo Yubari are in the season as well, which are both characters from the movie and that franchise. Now, we just watched a little bit of the gameplay, but let's get into a bit of the specifics. Now, one of the first ones, which is something we haven't seen in Fortnite, I don't believe, is wingsuits are actually going to be coming in this season. We have raw footage of someone actually flying kind of low to the ground with the wingsuit item. It looks super fast and honestly really fun. We don't get to see a ton of it. This is literally only like a 3-second clip where we actually get to see any of it at all, but it looks actually pretty sick. Excited to see how that works at all. Hot air balloons, like we saw in the last thing, are returning as well, and you actually use them, I guess, as like traversal points or something like that. In some way, you're going to be able to use these to traverse around the map, maybe like teleport or something like that. One of the biggest things that I'm really excited for is this solo versus bots mode, which is a really big deal. One of the biggest things that we've, had talks about on this channel is the amount of bots and how some people just don't like it. There's too many bots, not enough real players, and it looks like Fortnite is finally just giving us a bots only mode for regular BR. For a lot of people, that may have just saved the game for you and made this chapter a 10 out of 10. Now, also, as you guys can see here, we're going to talk about the UI here because it actually has changed, but these little rifts areas are going to be called Riftapalooza events, and they're going to spawn random rifts all over the map during the match. Not really sure if they're going to do anything else besides for just be traversal. We don't exactly know yet, but we do have a confirmation about that. But as you can see here, outside of that is just the UI. It looks a little bit cleaner, maybe a little bit more modern, kind of stylized, I guess, towards the West Coast vibe. Something they change kind of just for the sake of changing. Not really sure why. Definitely does give more of a Fortnite feel. Something that is going to take a while though to get used to is the kill count and the amount of people left being not below the map but to the left of it. So that's just going to take some getting used to, but I don't mind it at all. We see active anomaly, like I said, Riftapalooza, so that'll be interesting to see how that works as well. Now, Fortnite themselves actually posted high-quality teasers of new POIs on Twitter. Now, we don't have the names or anything like that. We can see a little bit of them. There's like a Sandy something POI called in this video right here, but these are not leaked. So right here, we got multiple overhead shots of different city areas, beaches, palm trees, and what looks like a theme park style area, maybe like a water slide area or something like that. The one thing that everybody noticed is that pink crystal looking structure over to the right of this image, which is actually the leaked The Shape thing. Now, this seems to be the mysterious kind of pink entity that leaked a while ago. Now it looks like it's actually going to be physically on the map. It's probably going to be Fortnite's own version of the Las Vegas sphere. It's going to like change things, maybe advertise stuff, move around, things like that. Everything we've seen so far really matches that California/Vegas aesthetic they're going for, and I really like this vibe. I'm excited to see what they do with it. Now, like I said, there is some concern floating around about the graphics because the leaked gameplay looks super similar to Chapter 5 and 6 visually, but honestly, I don't really mind. It's kind of impossible to judge visual quality from a low resolution kind of shaky phone recording in a dark theater, so we'll have to wait until the gameplay actually does release in high quality, but the official POI images look a lot different. I don't think this is the exact same map at all. There was some rumors about it being the same Chapter 6 map, but we'll have to see. And one of the biggest things, you guys, is the entire battle pass pretty much got leaked. As you can see here, somebody was looking at their locker and you can see there is, some images of things of some skins that we can see here. So we have a few different things, just some survey skins. We see Marty McFly right there. I believe the first one in the locker right next to the randomize button, that may be our first look at one of the versions, like one of the new 7 members, or like something that's going to be related to the 7. I don't know. It just kind of gives vibes, maybe that's the scientist corrupted or something like that. We'll just have to wait and see. Some people have said they really don't like this battle pass. Like if these are the battle pass skins, then they're not very good. I don't know. I think it's fine. Some are going to be better than other. Here's some high quality images of them actually from the surveys. I personally like the lion skin. I also like the Kill Bill, the bride skin as well. And this bear may also be a part of the battle pass too. But overall, you guys, I'm really excited. I was already hyped for 0 Hour in the new season, but now this is way bigger than I expected. The event is clearly setting up a massive kickoff for Chapter 7. I'm so excited to see exactly how we're going to get here. And the fact that creators walked out, a lot of them tweeted and said that you're going to be very happy with Chapter 7 makes me even more excited. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to catch up on the storyline before the event, especially how the 7 might return, check out my theory video on that from a few days ago because it explains everything with the Rift device. And also, if you're following the Simpsons storyline with Giant Homer and the 0-point corruption on the map, like what is going on with that? I also have a full breakdown of that too. But guys, if you did enjoy, please do drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. I make videos like these every single day. Use code PROZEROYT and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.